History.
Bessie from Peterhead, Cruden Bay. My gosh. Now, we first met at the beginning of this year, Bessie, at the public hall. Now,
I just have to know it.
Bessie is brilliant at speaking the Doric, aren't you?
Oh, just what I was brought up with.
And she's going to speak a wee bit more in the Doric about your parents.
Oh, aye.
Okay.
See? You're like me. You're a very good Doric speaker.
Aye.
Do I speak a Doric?
Aye.
Or just in certain company, Bessie?
Just in certain company, that's right.
Bessie, why do you think it's important that we speak our native tongue?
Well, I think the Doric, like my husband used to say, mince and potatoes don't seem the same. But if you say mince and tatties, it's just great.
It is. Doric? You were saying, Bessie, what do you feel about the Doric?
Oh, the words are very, very expressive, I think. Far better than anything else. I'll tell it her.
Well, you can, Bessie, that's what I feel is real. I can express myself best when I'm speaking in my own tongue.
Aye.
Are you the same?
Yes, just exactly.
Yeah. The words seem to flow out of you.
That's right.
I know. And if you're feeling a wee bit down, you can get the right Doric word that fits how you feel.
Sometimes.
You get fit?
Scunnert.
Scunnert. That's
Aye.
a perfect word. Perfect Doric word, scunnert.
Scunnert.
Bessie, did your parents, did they speak the same way?
Aye.
They spoke in the Doric?
Yes.
Perfect.
Auntie did in Cruden Bay at that time.
Yeah. Bessie, when was your father born?
20th of April, 1886. I think it was.
And Bessie, where was your father, where was he born at?
Peterhead, out of Queenie.
Queenie.
Yes, aye.
See, you were showing me this lovely painting that your late husband took. Yes, Betty?
That was a house that my father was born in, out of Queenie.
So your dad was born in this house?
Yes, but he
The
was
Queenie.
really...
And where did he go after the Queenie?
I was to run heads. Aye.
Could I guess, Bessie, that your father was fishing folk?
Yes, definitely.
Was his parents fishing folk?
Yes.
Bessie, there's a great coincidence here. I was born Augustin Slains,
Yes.
a firm just next to the North Sea.
Yeah.
Right, you were just telling me that there was a very unfortunate thing happened in your family. What was that, Bessie?
Well, my grandfather, my father's dad, he was in a drifter, and it was bad weather, and
He was fit, happened, Bessie?
he was in his drifter, and it was very, very bad weather, and he was drowned after the skiers, just after the skiers.
When your grandfather, when his boat sunk at the skiers,
Yeah.
as a lot of them did sink in these days,
Yes, that's right.
Bessie, because
Bad weather.
it was a dangerous profession, wasn't it?
Of course it was, yes.
Yeah.
aye.
There are many coincidences in life, Bessie, but my goodness, you're sitting here, and I'm sitting here, Bessie, speaking to another. Little would have kent that your grandfather, unfortunately, drowned off the skiers.
That's right. That's right.
As a fisherman.
That's right.
Which would have been practically nearly an eighth for my father farmed in Augustin Fairham.
Gracious me.
Another unfortunate thing you were telling me, Bessie, is that your granny, your granda's wife, what happened to her, Bessie?
Well, there was my father, and then his sister, my Auntie Annie, and then Betsy. That's when she died, and she was born, and that's when she died in childbirth.
So your granny unfortunately died in childbirth.
Yes, that was the reason that my father was moved to relatives in the Heads, and he was brought up with them. They were great Salvation Army folk.
So with your granny dying in childbirth and your grandfather lost at sea,
Aye,
Bessie, your dad was left without parents.
that's right.
What happened at that point, Bessie?
Well, him and his two sisters get to the Heads, and they were brought up with their relatives in the Heads.
So Bessie, did your father, he lived at Roanheads
Aye,
till he met your mother?
that's right.
Uh-huh. Now, Bessie, what did your father do? Was he a fisherman?
Yes, aye. He was originally an engineer, and then he was in the drifters.
So, Bessie, your dad would have gone out to sea
Aye,
on his boat.
aye.
What was the name of the boat, Bessie?
The Glad Tidings.
Right,
And there was a lot of local folk in it as well. And I can remember on a Sunday night, they waited until after a minute after 12 o'clock, and the bus for Peterhead used to come and take them to Peterhead to their boat. They wouldn't have left on Sunday than to wait until it was a minute or 2 or 3 minutes past into early Monday morning. Didn't fish on a Sunday in those days.
And your dad was an engineer on the boat.
Aye.
So can you imagine his job would have been, Bessie, on the boat?
Just looking after the engines, I would think. I don't know about that. But that's what I would think it would be.
So, from the Glad Tidings, where your dad worked on as an engineer, Bessie, where did he travel to? Where did he fish for?
Well, the fishermen in those days, in September, they all left for Lowestoft or Yarmouth, and they were there about 2 months, I would think. It was a great thing then, because they brought presents to the bairns. I can mind them getting lovely wellies. They were the black, shiny kind that you got then, and I do all of that pram. I mean, aye.
What was it you got him sometimes, Bessie, for the fishermen?
Well, the fishermen, I nearly brought back either Yarmouth or Lowestoft. And then the dads, they brought for their children. I can mind and get enough of money, shiny wellies, and I do all in a pram.
You were saying that. And rock.
And
Sticky rock to eat.
aye.
Oh.
And they distributed it to the folks that weren't in the fishing. Abdi got rock.
A stick of rock, but that was...
That's right.
That would have been a luxury name days.
Of course it was.
To get a stick of rock.
Aye, of course it was.
For Yarmouth.
And Lowestoft.
The important day that the fishermen, even though they were off of home in Yarmouth and Grimsby,
Grimsby, Yarmouth and Lowestoft.
There we go, look, Betty, you mind more than I did. Bessie, right, what happened on a Sunday, Bessie, even though they were off of home?
Aye, well, they were all dressed in their navy blue suits and their ganges on. And their wives. It wasn't netted at the side in those days.
So these ganges, what's ganges?
Oh, they were navy blue and they were really thick. And they were really body on them and dressy looking, you know.
Now, the navy blue, was that Peterhead colour? The fisherman colour, the navy blue?
Well,
ganges?
Oh, yes, I think so. Aye, yes.
And these ladies, the women, the wives that knitted,
Aye.
It wasn't knitted you called it in them days, was it? What was it?
They were waving.
Now, what did the ladies in Grimsby tell you, Bessie?
Well, they used to say, if they remembered the fisher girls from Scotland, and they were all doing their, as they called it, knitting, but we called it waving, and they was waving as ganges at the war.
And you were saying it as they were waving the gansies, they would have been, were they walking about?
Oh, I walking down the street and speaking to each other, and aye, that's it for to tell me anyway.
And waving at the same
And
time.
waving at the same time, aye, the day they're waving with him.
So knitting in them days for the wifeys, the waving wifeys, was a very important thing, wasn't it?
Oh, mercy, aye, that, well, it wasn't knitting, it was they were waving their ganges, and they'd all many different patterns. Oh, they were lovely ganges.
Did your mum knit, Bessie?
Aye,
Uh-huh.
aye,
She's a knitter.
aye,
Because
aye,
it's strange, my mother she knitted as well,
aye.
although she was a fairman. But it was a way of life for them to knit
That's right.
clothes.
Aye.
Because you couldn't just nip to a shop and buy clothes like you can do
Oh,
nowadays.
no.
Do
You see, it was us.
So, Bessie, how would your father have been dressed on the boat, on the fishing boat?
Well, they had fitted linders. They were like, just flannelette like shirts. And then they had the women knitted their underpants, their drawers as a kind of, so they'd a him with them drawers on. They needed it in that cold weather.
Would you think it couldn't be very comfortable next year's skin, was it?
Well, I wouldn't think so, but I never tried them.
But essential, as you would say, out in the North Sea.
Oh, mercy, aye. Oh, mercy, aye.
So in them days, Bessie, it wasn't just the fishermen, it was hard work, but it was also for the fishing wives, weren't they?
Oh, mercy, aye. It was no washing machines or drying machines, and it was all that heavy clays that they had and just through the maggle. And then up in in Cruden Bay, it was up in Bray, as they called it, and the trail all their washing up there and then going up for the thought it was dry and bringing down.
Did wifeys have their own day, each day for their washing day?
That's right. My father built a little shed across the road for us in the new block, and we used to share it out with some of the rest of the neighbours. They'd had their own day for it.
Just spurting on air a wee bit, weren't we, Bessie? Because you were speaking about Cruden Bay, weren't you? And
Aye.
Fran, you had done your washing day, and your mother did her washing day.
Aye.
Yes, Right, we'll get on to that in a wee bit. Further on down the line, Bessie. So, Bessie, when did your father leave Peterhead? When did he leave Peterhead?
Well, my mother and him had got engaged by that time, and then they got married in Cruden Bay, and he spent the rest of his life in Cruden Bay.
So he was fishing off Peterhead, his boat.
Aye,
He got married
aye,
to Cruden Bay lassie,
aye.
and then he went to bide in Cruden Bay.
That's right.
Bessie, can you tell us a bit about your mother?
Aye, well, she was a fisher queen, a fisher queen, and they got, she was down in Lowestoft in Yarmouth, and she used to tell us that they'd no money, the fisher queens, and they'd go into the butcher's shop and ask for a bone for a dog. But it wasn't for a dog, it was to make soup for themselves. But that was there was a lot of unemployment there.
Bessie, what was your mother's name?
Maggie Bella Summers.
And where did Maggie Bella hail from?
Cruden Bay.
She was a Cruden Bay queen.
Oh, aye, aye.
Now, was her folks fishing folks?
Aye.
They were fishing folks.
That's right.
They fished off a Cruden Bay.
Right? A
did-
little boaty.
You do remember their family boat?
No, I didn't. It was a small boat to get out in. And I did. No, I cannot remember the name, honestly.
So your mother, Maggie Bella, what about in Cruden Bay did they bide, Bessie?
Well, when she was married, the bed down at the Harbour houses, but she was brought up in 3 Harbour Street, Cruden Bay.
Initially.
That's where she was born and brought up. Aye.
And after she got married to your dad, they moved up.
They moved to the house in the Harbour.
in New Block.
My two brothers were born there.
When your mother was little, far did she head to go to school, Bessie?
Well, I was in a school in Cruden Bay at that time, and they had to walk to the Errol schools. That would be about 2 or 3 miles out of Cruden Bay, I would think.
And your mother had to walk here?
Aye, and then they took a piece with them, as they called it. Then they were home in the afternoon, walk at home again.
So they had to walk out the road and had to walk.
Oh, yes, aye, aye.
Bessie, would you recall what age when your mother left school?
I think it would have been about 14 that they left school in those days.
Would she have been at the same school all the time, Errol Schoolhouse?
Oh, I was just the one at Errol schools. I was just the one school there, and the one in Cruden Bay was the built at that time.
Uh-huh. Do you remember your mum would have mentioned anything about her education?
No, I can't mind.
No. And what would she have done once she had come off at Errol Schoolhouse? What would she have done at the age of 14? What kind of job would she have done?
Well, a fisher queen.
And what did that fisher queen, what that entail doing?
Well, working in Peterhead and got in and all the rest of the herons. Got in and packing the herons. This was a busy place, Peterhead, at that time.
How would she have got to her work in Peterhead for Cruden Bay? Would she have gotten a bus, maybe?
No, that I didn't ken.
But
I can't mind.
she was a guttin?
They were the fisher queens, as it's called. They got it, and then there was packers. Ones were got in the heron, and the others was packing them in the...
So, your mother would have been working in Peterhead.
Aye.
When did she meet your father?
When she was working for they were got in the heron and packing them at that time.
And they met through their work.
Aye, aye.
What age would they have met up and got married at, Bessie?
I think my mother was married 19 or 20, which was 19 or 20, I think.
Would she have carried on doing the same fish gutting job after she got married?
No.
She stopped then?
Aye, aye.
And was that the point that your dad then moved away from Peterhead and went to Cruden Bay with your mum?
No, he still worked at Peterhead.
Uh-huh.
Might I told you before about him when did I get on the biking?
Yeah, it's like they used to bike for
Bike into work and bike back again at night.
yes, that was after he was married.
Yes, aye,
yeah.
aye.
And
I just when I stayed in the New Block.
yeah. So when your mum and dad met, your dad then he moved house for Peterhead out to Cruden Bay.
Aye.
So your mum and dad then would have got married. Where would they have got married at?
What would have been in a congregational kirk in Cruden Bay?
Was that for all the fishing folk got married to run about?
Yes,
In that
aye,
area?
because the terrace, they get to the Alkirk. And some of them went to chapel as well. It's called St. James's now, but we call it a chapel.
But according to where your mother lived, she went to the Congregational
Aye.
Church, and that's where she got married. Bessie, what was your father's name?
My father's name was Alexander Cordiner, but he didn't get Alexander in Cruden Bay. It was Alec.
He was called Alec.
Alec.
That's the way you
That was the word for Alec.
the
Aye.
Doric word.
Aye, yes, aye. Alec Cordiner.
Bessie, this is your mother in the picture, isn't it?
Aye, it's her.
Let's have a look.
That's my mother, aye.
That's your mother.
I think that would have been Anne Rennie's great granny.
Now, Anne lives...
I may be wrong with that, but I've got that feeling.
This lady here is Anne Finlay, who lives in Cruden Bay. This would be her great granny.
Aye.
This lady here, Bessie, on the left, her name is...
Mary,
And Fitzmary Dean.
she's baiting the lines.
Now, was that? What did that entail, baiting the lines?
Well, getting the lines done up for the fishermen to go out and catch a fish.
History. You're saying that loony up in the top left?
Aye.
I think his name was Jimsy.
Jimsy, aye. I can't mind the woman's name.
And he and his family left Scotland to go to America.
I think it was America now, to get tell.